Friends, good evening and welcome, I fucking hope, to another edition of SPTV News Live. Since we had a debacle where 15 minutes ago I was rambling like a madman with no sound for 15 minutes straight, I need to know if you guys can fucking hear me. Okay, success. Thank you. Thanks for coming back, guys. I don't know what the hell happened. Everything was working just fine on this end. We have audio. Okay, if it goes out, my friends, I'll try to pay attention. Damn it, though. I mean, we were on such a roll. If it doesn't work this time, Doug, I'm going to drive, sir. I promise, chemist. I am totally sober. Well, almost. But everything was working fine on this end. I don't know what the fuck happened. That was entertaining. He was so fired up and passionate. Exactly, man. But as they say in acting, I guess this will just be take two. We felt your energy, man. Thanks. Just couldn't hear the words. Okay, so let's get into what the hell we're actually talking about today. So I just tried to squeeze this video in before hitting the sack here. It's currently 11:30 p.m. My time in lovely Los Angeles, California. We did 3 videos today, which I'm going to call the Scientology Celebrity Video Pack, because it just the news in the Scientology cult just happened to appertain to video 1 being Tom Cruise appearing at the cult headquarters in East Grinstead this morning, as he's seen flying off in a black helicopter from the cult headquarters, confirming that he is indeed still a Scientologist despite the rumors. Video 2 today in SPTV News had to do with rumors that are resurfacing as to whether Jerry Seinfeld is a Scientologist or not. And today we're going to be covering, of all people, John fucking Stamos's involvement in the cult of Scientology. So before we begin, and I look like a complete jackass again, let me make sure that I'm following along. We still have sound, right, guys? Please let me know. Doug, I was contemplating a quick course in lip reading. The Scientology doesn't offer one. I'm sure they do, man. And also, since they watch, don't give them any ideas, because I see the lip reading rundown coming soon to a cult near you. Guys, do we have sound? Can you please let me know? Okay, bitchin'. So let's get into this, man. So, you know what's so interesting is we've covered inadvertently, not even talking specifically about celebrities, just how many seem to be coming out of the woodwork, either celebrities in the past or even present, that we didn't even know were fucking Scientologists. I mean, we have, whether it's a cursory involvement or a more hardcore involvement, like we found out more about with Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. And it just seems, I swear, by the time we're done with this channel or this news section of the channel, I bet you every fucking actor and Hollywood, musician, etc., has had some brush with this fucking cult. Because who the hell would suspect John Stamos, for Christ's sake? I mean, we've covered everybody from Courtney Love trying to drag Kurt Cobain's ass into Scientology through one of their front groups, everyone from Aldous Huxley to Brad Pitt. So let's keep, and there's a couple more, we're not going to do them tonight, but there's even a couple more kind of surprise celebrity videos to do in the future. But this isn't a big deal, but it just shows you how a small cult gets so many people involved that you'd never guess. So let's get into this. So John Stamos admits he once joined the Scientology cult alongside Tom Cruise. The Full House actor says he almost joined the cult in the 80s, as Tom Cruise is now seemingly trying to distance himself from the cult. He's actually not, but we'll talk more about that as we go. So, John Stamos reveals in his new book that he was tempted to join Scientology in the 80s after attending a few auditing, i.e., hypnosis sessions. His assistant slipped him a book on Scientology, and he cracked it open while working at a restaurant, discovering teachings about control. That's exactly what Scientology is about. Teachings about control. During his brief stint at the Scientology Celebrity Center, that would be here in Los Angeles, he attended an auditing, i.e., hypnosis session, but was ultimately deemed not suitable for the cult of Scientology. Good for you, John. And also, this news only comes out because he just put out a book, I believe last week or about a week and a half ago, where he goes into some of the revelations. We're not going to get into them here. And I'm going to link this in the description box so you can read 5 of the biggest revelations from this new memoir. We're just going to be focusing on the Scientology part today, but there is some interesting stuff to say on that. And then without getting, well, we'll cover that in a minute. But if you guys don't know who the hell we're talking about, John Stamos was best known for being on Full House, which was a sitcom which had some controversy surrounding it to be discussed briefly at the end. And you can see here, this was just taken on October 24th, 2023 on the Howard Stern show. And he looks exactly the same as he did all those years ago. So let's get a little bit of background on him, and then we'll talk about his Scientology cult experiences. And I'll throw you guys over here in the chat. We're still good on sound, right, guys? Jesus. Okay. Sorry, it's just, I have no idea why that happened. I'm still panicking. Yeah, I'm a straight man, and I would say he's a heartthrob too. He's a good-looking man. I'm sure he pulled a lot of tail, shall we say? Yeah, man. We'll talk about this at the end, but he almost got the Olsen twins fired. Laugh out loud. Yeah, that's one of the things. Those twins made that show, not him. There is some controversy surrounding Full House. Let me just show you this real quick. We're going to only get into this when we get into the kind of Hollywood deep dive, because it doesn't appertain to the lighthearted short video that we're doing today with John Stamos's brush. But as we talked about in the previous video, or the Tom Cruise video, I'm going to link these two in the description box so you can check them out, but we'll go more into it. But you can see here the Olsen twins, the dark side of Full House, and this shows, not even in full detail, there's more to say, but how Bob Saget in particular, with a little bit of John Stamos, some of the weird, shall we say, for the sake of YouTube, shenanigans going on with the Olsen twins, appertaining to a particular doll that was used inappropriately to the shock of the parents and such. And then you can see here, there's a video called Exposing John Stamos' Dangerous and Manipulative, Creepy Uncle Jesse, but we get way ahead of ourselves. So let's talk about what this guy's background is and what his Scientology experience is in particular. So Stamos has been typecast all his life, like every other actor, a part of a mega hit American sitcom like Full House. But the actor who played the himbo rock star Uncle Jesse is ready to shed that image in his new memoir, the aforementioned If You Would Have Told Me. Throughout the book, he reveals many of the interworkings of his long-term career, like his short-lived beef with child stars Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, who, by the way, became like the youngest Hollywood billionaires in general at like the age of 12 or 13 or something. Again, you can find out more information about the Full House deep dive on the videos that I'll link in the description box. So Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, known for making him the famous Uncle Jesse. That's the nickname that they call them, much to the chagrin of Stamos. The asshole. The actor also dives into strange connections, like one of his mother's best friends, Doreen Leoy, who fell in love with convicted serial killer Richard Ramirez, and even asked his mom to be her maid of honor. Also, Stamos reveals that an old acting coach of his gave him an intro to a Scientology book. I do wonder who this acting coach, who the actual teacher might have been, because Milton Casales, who we've talked about before, who ran a acting school out here in LA before he passed, it was called the Beverly Hills Playhouse. They got a ton of people, not dissimilar to Stamos, who were, up and coming actors that just stumbled into a Scientology front group, the aforementioned Beverly Hills Playhouse. There's a ton of people that got recruited from that. So Stamos reveals that an old acting coach, possibly Milton Casales, of his, well, it wouldn't be the acting coach that gave it to him. I just wonder what the school would be. So the acting coach of his gave him an intro to a Scientology book, and he attended a meeting at the Cult of Scientology Celebrity Center International, that's here in Los Angeles, where he was questioned by a man and was probed about, quote, some strange sex inquiries. Well, that certainly sounds like Scientology. He was, of course, turned down. Apparently, I'm not Scientologist material. Be thankful of that, John, because it sounds like with the hypnosis session, you were one step away from being fucking recruited. I mentioned to you guys in the previous video that my dad, went under literally in one day. So it's not something to fuck with. So, what's the story behind his brief Scientology encounter? John Stamos almost followed in the footsteps of Tom Cruise by joining the cult of Scientology. And the actor's new book, If You Would Have Told Me, he reveals that he was tempted to join the controversial religion. Again, it's not a religion. Why do they keep calling it that? The controversial cult in the 80s when he attended a few auditing, i.e., hypnosis sessions. So I'm walking to my car and Mia runs out and hands me workbooks, John explains, revealing that it was his assistant who first slipped him a book on Scientology. Hey, you forgot these. She adds an extra book, the size of a brick, that would probably be Dianetics, to my stack. Start with this one, she says, smiling like an absolute zombified maniac. I think it will open your eyes to some amazing things. That's one way of putting it. So, again, even though he only attended one Scientology, i.e., hypnosis session, that can often be enough to make you go under. But check this out. I'll explain this in a minute, but let me just read this. You're going to see what his auditing session actually was about. Quote, I crack open the book while on my shift at Yellow Basket Restaurant, the Full House star went on. There's a lot about control, controlling your reactionary mind. He's talking about the reactive mind, controlling energy, controlling space, and controlling time. We talked about in the very last video that right there is a definition of an OT or operating thetan, the total goal in Scientology. And Stamos also got it right where it's all about control. His assistant, Mia, then gave him an address and asked him to meet her there, which turned out to, of course, be the location of the cult's celebrity center. He described the center as, quote, and this is like a perfect, this is exactly how it actually feels if you wanted to capture the energy of Celebrity Center. So he described the center as, quote, grand, ornate, and creepy as fuck. A cross between the Chateau Marmont, Disney's Haunted Mansion, and a fucking mental hospital. During his brief time at the center, he apparently attended an auditing, again, hypnosis session, while wearing an e-meter. He wasn't wearing it, but it's very funny the way he phrases this. So, while wearing an e-meter, which claims to read emotional states. Again, it's 2/3 of a lie detector, and we've gone into that as to what the thing actually fucking does. Let me just check in with you guys because I'm paranoid about the sound. Make sure that you guys can still hear me and aren't freaking out in the audience. Okay. Excuse me, Nerdy Girl Films. You're going to sleep? What the fuck? By the way, I'll see you tomorrow, my friend. We're going to do a test run, and me and her are going to do a, speaking of Dianetics, we're going to spend time on her Twitch, which I think I can stream to YouTube as well. And we're going to go over the fucking Dianetics book and just how insane it actually is. We're going to watch a video about it and sort of break it down. Okay, so continuing on. Here we go. This proves to me that he actually didn't get a real auditing session. And I told you before, it's a secret society, so they're trying to feel him out. So he got a special kind of sec check, which is not what you normally give newbies unless you think there's something sus. Quote, he begins to question me about committing crimes, ask if I have negative thoughts about Scientology or the cult leader L. Ron Hubbard, and probes into some strange sex inquiries. John recalls of what he was asked during the session. Quote, the Wayback Machine, that's his euphemism for the e-meter, the Wayback Machine needle jumps in the corner, and Mia looks disappointed. Apparently, I'm not Scientologist material, darn it. Now, let me just say something on that real quick. So when you normally go down to the cult, as mentioned in the previous video, they sign you up for the communication course. You know, they treat you with kid gloves, and they move you into the trap very slowly with sensible tools for life. What he's describing here is what they call a security check. When, let's say, you go into the Scientology Celebrity Center in Los Angeles, like John did, and you're just off the street, he's getting something where they don't trust him. You're not going to ask somebody the questions pertaining to their sex, whether or not they have bad thoughts of L. Ron Hubbard, etc. This was a security check that's used in addition to the personality test and other tools to weed out those that might be sus for whatever reason. But John's memoir does not go into what that reason was, but he should be thankful that he got the fuck out of there. He never elaborated on whether he met any other famous cult members during his brief encounter at the center, including whether he rubbed shoulders with Tom Cruise, who has become one of the cult's most well-known members throughout the years. And this is worth going into just to smash this rumor in the butt. Tom Cruise is allegedly leaving Scientology. So this is a recent report, but as we learned today, Tom Cruise not only is not leaving the cult of Scientology, he was seen at their headquarters in East Grinstead, where he's clearly still supporting the cult and was at their event. And we'll see if he shows up in day 2 and day 3, i.e. tomorrow and the following day, because the cult extravaganza has just begun. So, however, according to recent bullshit reports, Cruise may be trying to distance himself from the cult. Last month, The Mirror, that's the Daily Mirror that reported on Tom Cruise's helicopter ride today, that also reported previous months that they're kind of responsible for helping to spread the rumor that he's leaving, but it's complete bullshit. So The Mirror reported that Tom has spent the past 3 years predominantly in the UK working on his latest film projects, including Mission Impossible. Although he's been captured in photographs at various locations, including Birmingham and the Cotswolds, there's no record of him visiting the UK Scientology headquarters. And therefore, they say that's enough evidence as to why he might be, leaving Scientology, or Scientology itself is actually putting this out, or Tom Cruise, to make it seem like he's distant. Jesus Christ, man. Thank God this is the last stream tonight. They could very well be a PR move by Tom Cruise, seeming like he's distancing himself from the cult. Maybe it's hurting his movie funds. Maybe the rumors are spreading too much. Maybe there's too much heat on him. He's very much still involved in the cult. I don't think he's leaving anytime in the near future, as we discussed in video 1 today that pertain to that event. And it's very possible, because that's how these Hollywood fucks work, is to just put out spread bullshit, and but for other reasons. So, carrying on, almost done. Furthermore, there have been no sightings of him at the Cult of Scientology building in central London, leading to speculation, which has turned out to be utter horseshit, that he may not be as involved with the cult as he once was. Again, that's not true. And every year, it seems like Scientology and or Tom Cruise, or just the media in general, gets it wrong. There's always a new report, of clickbait bullshit that people put out where Tom Cruise is leaving Scientology. Is Tom Cruise leaving Scientology? It's rumored that Tom Cruise is leaving Scientology. My friends, he's been in for so long and is so close to David Miscavige, and he's so fucking brainwashed over multiple decades. He's probably not leaving anytime in the near future. Before we roll out of here, my friends, just going to roll through and see if you have any questions. Let me throw on some tunes here, because we don't have to just immediately get out of here. We got through what we needed to cover. Relax as we play some chill music. We'll roll out of here. If you have any questions, please throw them in. Clearly, we have late night partiers in the way of philosophy. Oh, I'm drinking gin and tonic, and I'm smoking whatever strain I got. Doesn't have a name, black market and all down here. Really? Wish I was in Colorado, though. Yeah, I hear they have the best weed. And much to my surprise, by the way, Chris Shelton, who speaks out about Scientology, lives in Colorado. And I just found out recently that, surprise of all surprises, he actually smokes weed. That's the last guy I would ever think would smoke weed. Anyways, any questions before we roll out, my friends? Not only do we have sound, but according to PT Bird, we have great sound. Thanks for letting me know that. God damn it. So paranoid now, because there was nothing wrong as to why the sound wasn't coming in. All right, you like the chill. Okay, my friends, that's it for tonight, man. I'm beat. Like I said, on Sunday, we're doing a stream with Nerdy Girl Films, also known as Joni, where we'll talk about Dianetics. There'll be some more videos tomorrow, undoubtedly. And because the theme was the Scientology celebrities and such, okay, I see a question that someone is just throwing in there at the last minute. Thank you for that. Cassandra, will you be on tomorrow night for some more Xenu time? I'm sure there's 2 more celebrity type videos to do. And then it just depends on if I can get to it tomorrow or not. But I have plenty of videos that I need to get caught up on. So yeah, I'm sure I'll be in tomorrow for sure. Sunday with Joni, we'll do the Dianetic shit during the day. And then in the evening, we'll do the usual Sunday night Q&A where we can get absolutely plastered out of our minds and you can ask any questions you'd like. And that's when we can really chill and hang out, really kick in the tunes. And I don't have to worry about going into presentation mode. Anyways, thanks for joining us tonight, guys. I mean, 50% of the listeners are from the US of A. So the 75 people that we have here at midnight are either really fucked up after coming home from the bar, like philosophy is getting plowed out of their minds on a strain that we don't even know about, or is simply, like me, unable to fucking sleep. The theme being the Hollywood Scientology people. Let's end off with this outro being Scientology, and we'll see you tomorrow, my friends. As usual, stay safe, stay sane, and stay the fuck away from Scientology.
Found out long ago. It's a long way down the holiday road. Holiday road. Holiday road. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick. Take a ride on the West Coast.
What's your dream? Some dreams come true, some don't. But keep on dreaming. This is Hollywood.